Buenos nachos, amigos, and welcome to Hallyujuku, the podcast about East Asian pop culture from a couple of guys from the East Coast of the United States. I'm Petey Rave, your man with no plan. Here with me is my tag team partner, my partner in crime, my right-hand man to my left-hand side, Brandon Cooper, aka King Kaz. How you doing, Kaz?
I'm doing good.
We're chilling. We're here to talk about K-pop and the like. A lot of fun stuff to talk about. Of course, we started off talking about what's new, what's caught our attention since we last gathered. Kaz, what's new? What's caught your attention? What's going on out there?
So for me this week, it is the return of The Boys, the K-pop group The Boys, with their new song No Air. So this is their comeback. I think they debuted last year around this time. So this is like
How am I supposed to live with no air? Oh wait, no, that's not that song. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but this one is actually it's not terrible. I haven't listened to that much from The Boys. I do remember talking about them because they were the group that said they had no center because everyone is the center. But I actually like this. This is a very modern style K-pop song, and it's done really well.
Yeah, it like the only knock you gave on it, maybe it's a little like it's maybe it's standard, but I think it's but that's the most you could probably knock it. Honestly, and that's not even really a big knock. I think it does well. Like it does what it does well, and it's a nice song. You can kind of like it's a nice construct for being able to like have a visual, have a song, have a dance, have a whole thing, and it works at that.
I think I would say that almost about this whole thing, right? Is like the song is very standard modern K-pop. The visuals of the video is very modern K-pop. The choreo is very modern K-pop standard, right? But it's done well. Not to any specific perfection or anything like that, but it's done very well. And it is something that like whenever their next track drops, it'll make me want to check it out. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's a good thing to when you hit the standards really well, it's what makes you worth checking out again. And then when you hit that exceptional mark, then you're like worth following, I think, is how that goes.
And then, at some point you decide if you're worth staining.
Yeah.
That's for us. I know that for their real core fandom, they see the first second of the first video and they're like, no, they see the first teasers and they've already locked in staining. No, they find out. No, wait. I'm sorry. Let me get this correctly. They find out which trainees are being considered for the group, and they've already started staining.
All right. Speaking of another group that might be worth standing,
that people stand from their points of trainees.
Yeah, NCT 127 with their song Simon Says, which I thought was gonna be silly, and it does have some silly bits to it. But you know what? NCT does their thing pretty fucking well. Like, I think they have their sound that is very hip hop based, and I think they're falling into it really well. I think on some of the last ones that we talked about within NCT, they kind of went a little more braggadocious, and those were the ones we kind of had issue with, which we always tend to have issue with if it's not done well. Yeah. Like when you do braggadocious, you have to do it really well. This, I think, is directly in their wheelhouse.
Yeah, I think it works well. This is kind of it falls in line with what it feels exactly what if you're paying attention what a SM song camp boy group songs is expected to sound like. because if you look at like EXO lately, and the look is similar, but it works. There's some parts that are a little perfunctory, the parts that are a little silly, but overall, I think, and like others have said that like this song doesn't quite have the melody that you would expect, but it a lot of it works, and I think a lot of it works because it like plays around with some stuff and experiments with some stuff. Like there's a great review on Asian Junkie where it talk about like how they kind of detail where it may lack a little bit of a melody, but but the experimentation kind of really wins you over a little bit, and I think that I think overall is what works for the song.
Yeah.
It's still like this whole NCT 48 thing, like is still something that I'm not quite sure what's going on, because I don't know who's in the group like overall and who's in what like unit, and like I know I think I know which units have already debuted, but I'm not. I think there's 127. There's you, and there's NCT Dream, which is the fetuses. I don't know if there's anything beyond that. I think there's a Chinese unit gonna get debut soon. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this works out for SM, but. So far this is a good song. This is I'm on a wait and see when it comes to their body of work, when it comes to whether I'm gonna stand or not, but we'll see.
Yeah. All right, ending with a banger, just straight out of the gate. You don't even need to know more than that. Late Night by your boy Loco, featuring your boy Gray. Just
yeah.
Such a banger.
This is such a fun, like, chill, like, hip hop track, and it's very much, if you know Loco, you know Gray, you know what you're gonna get in this.
Yeah.
And it's good. I think it works well. It's nice to see Gray in the video. I think we've seen him in different videos. I don't think I've.
Yeah, we have.
I don't feel like I've seen. I just don't see him a lot.
Yeah,
I think
unless it's in one of his videos, you don't see him in too many of the videos that he's featured on much.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Yeah. But yeah, it's fun. The video's fun. The song is fun to listen to. Overall, it just kind of works really well.
Yeah, like Loco's flows are always fun, and he takes the time to whether he concepts them or he picks people who come up with really good, fun concepts. Like his videos are fun, and they kind of give you this sense of wanting to pay attention to them.
Yeah, and I think it's there's something cool about it. Some like cool and chill about what Loco.
Also shout out to the racing jacket, the fucking UPS 88 fucking out there.
Like I gotta see some of the logos that are on that. Like there's like UPS, there's a Coca-Cola logo. It's like they want to make this video. It's like they want to make this video unable to be shown on television, but they don't really want to do anything like naughty or dirty. So just throw a bunch of logos on it. That'll get it banned from television.
But you can definitely tell it was probably just like stylistically like, oh, this looks cool, but nobody thought about like, oh, there's all these fucking brands on here.
Yeah, like there's a Ford logo, UPS, like it's gonna go back to the 90s in hip hop where all the hats were blurred.
Yeah, or you had to put tape on them.
Yeah. But yeah, Loco, just fantastic. Good, fantastic track. All right, some of the songs that I've been checking out. I keep going back and forth. This is like, so aside from the fact that, so one major thing, I've got like this 3-monitor setup now, and I'm like, I put OBS over here, and I put the OBS full screen preview over here, so I find myself for some reason unknowingly just looking back and forth. So like the past few episodes, a couple episodes of this podcast probably, and past few record breakers, it's gonna be like, you'll see me like just in the middle of like while somebody else is talking, like on. It's like, it's absurd. But moving on. My tracks are all breakup songs. Like all.
I mean, it is. We are coming to the end of the cuffing season, so like,
yes, it's breakup season. It's winter time.
Yeah, if you cuffing season is that season. It like kind of starts in fall ish, where you're like, yo, I got to get somebody to cuddle with and be around during the winter. Be warm, have somebody to snuggle with. But then like, when it starts to come family time and you got to think about taking that person around your family and you like, ooh, I don't know.
Like,
you do that thing. You do that weird thing with your socks though. My mom's going to be like, she ain't going to like that. You're going to have to leave.
So it's the perfect time to talk about breakup songs, but just fun songs from just groups and ladies that I enjoy. I'm doing the ladies. Yubin, first of all, she of Wonder Girls, come back with a new track called "Thank You So Much." And it's a really cool, fun track, a very retro, fun video. It's a very disco song, and I think it shines because of it. I like that it showcases her vocals because she's kind of been, when she was in the group, she was kind of like shoehorned into the role of the rapper. Mainly because she wasn't much of a main she didn't fit the role of a main vocalist, so they or a lead vocalist, so they kind of like, all right, you do the raps, and it just kind of happens, especially with kind of her lower vocal register. And but she is a good singer, and she showcases this as well. And I think she's not gonna be a vocal gymnast, but I think she fits in into the groove of this song fantastically. And it's fun. Also, there's the video is cool and fun, and she looks great. The choreography is great.
There's some like 80s vibes in it, and I just love it for that. Like right out of the gate, I just love it for that. Like, but it like has these like kind of old school style things to it from different eras, like it kind of has this B movie theme going on throughout it, and then it's like these weird geometric shapes that you used to get in like old 70s and 80s videos in the box set kind of thing, and it's just weird and fun. I love shit like that.
Yeah. And I love that you kind of mix that, and that what fits into that, of course, is the choreography. There's a whole lot of whacking. This is all I don't know. I'm not that good.
Yeah, that kind of shit.
Kind of. I love that. Bringing it out of the ballroom and into the mainstream. And it's pretty fantastic. And the dance is fun. And Yubin is fantastic. I think I think she shines in this song, and people should check it out. I'm glad she's kind of like finding her sound, and it's really cool. But yeah, speaking of girl groups that are fantastic and fun, EXID are back, officially back, 100%, fully, all 5 of them. A full squad back in business, and they're back with the turn up post breakup turn up Too Bad and Wake Up Hungover anthem with I Love You. And it is fun. It is really fun. The song is fun. The video is fun. The
colorful as fuck.
Yeah, colorful as fuck. I think it's a nice return to form.
Some colors in here I've never heard of.
Yeah. The video is very much like a return to form for them. Like I think like almost harkening back to their like We Are days. And it works really well for the song, and they all kind of get their moments to shine, and it's really nice. I think it is cool to listen to, and I don't know. It's just nice to see them back, back to full formation, officially and for good this time.
Also, is this like the second or third video today where we've seen somebody with like a shirt with CDs on it? Like I swear, one of the other videos we just talked about, somebody had that same kind of shirt with like CDs on it. I'm gonna have to go back after the show and figure this out.
We'll have to see. Yeah. But yeah, I love the visuals. It's like them like hungover from partying too bad, and like her like Hani editing it down so that they only have the fun moments. And like I do love the great moment that provided us the iconic gif of when you break when you breaking up over the phone, but the DJ is playing your jam, like moment of Hani, which is really great. And I think overall this video is really cool. And I'm just glad to, like I said, I'm going to reiterate, I'm just glad to see EXID back to full force. Yeah. Did you have any more thoughts on the track?
Like you said, it's fun. I like fun tracks like this from groups that I know can do this as well as like there are groups that are known just to be silly, right? And they're fun for that. But like EXID kind of has a range. So one, getting to see them all back together is fun, and then having this silly is good because they have the range to do other stuff. So I love stuff like that.
Yeah, I love drunkenly going to the shopping to the convenience store and trying to pay with your license.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever been there yet. I've had some moments in my life, but that has not been one of them.
You just Koreans are on another level, man. Mamamoo are back.
Your girls,
my girls. As you can see, I'm a card carrying member of the fan club. Well, I was for 1 year. I didn't get to renew because they took away international shipping. But yeah, Mamamoo are back with the song Windflower, and it's nice. It's a nice showcase of their vocals. It's a nice showcase of their style. It's nice and chill. It works well. It fits. It very much is a kind of like, okay, now this is the winter track. Like this is the winter song. Like, and it fits that well. The video is really cool and stylish, and they all look great. And it has some cool moments. It's very like pensive, and again, breakup song. It's like that winter breakup track. And I think it works well. It's part of their range. This is another group. Just like EXID, they have that range where they can do the completely silly tracks and videos, but they can also do the in the moment serious, pensive ballad, or pensive like this is where we're at. These kind of tracks, and they do it well. And even for like the shining, kind of like the little moments of like quote unquote silliness in this video, or feel right in line with like, all right, I'm dealing with this. This is me thinking about it, or this is me kind of acting out. This is and it works well, I think.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I like it. Like I always enjoyed Mamamoo. I may not be as into them as you are, but like I enjoy them. I think as idols, it's very easy to I think showcase Mamamoo. They have an actual range. They have an actual like, I don't know. It fits so well to the element of K-pop and what it is and stuff like that. Like that's what I love about Mamamoo. And this is just like right up there. And one of the things about this that gets me every once in a while when somebody does it really well, there is really good cinematography in this video. Like lens choices, shot choices, like visuals, colors, the color grading, all that shit is really good in this video. And I want to just know who directed this, because I want them to direct every K-pop video. Yes. Because like this is a motherfucker that knows their shit. It wasn't like just an assistant holding the camera. Like, yeah. This is like somebody who's like studying their shit.
They had a budget for this. Thanks to that McDonald's money. Thanks to that McDonald's money with that moment at the end where they all stumbling out of the Mac Cafe with ice cream. Post breakup turn up of their own. Like, yo, let's go for ice cream. Like it's 3 a.m. The Mac Cafe is open. Let's get some cones. And
there are just shots in this that like I could just pause and they would just be like Instagram bangers, like, and I love shit like that. Like
yeah. All right. It's such an engaging, engrossing video that it causes you to suspend disbelief and actually believe that they were able to walk into McDonald's and the ice cream machine wasn't broken.
Oh yeah, bro, there is not a McDonald's ice cream machine in this world that works. Like, no, I was in line behind a dude in a McDonald's, and he was just like, "Oh, yo, can I get ice cream?" And they were like, "Oh," and he's like, "There's no way." He's like, because the McDonald's we were in literally just reopened after doing a remodel. So he's like, how? Like, how is your shit already broken?
Yo, I'm gonna tell you this as someone who worked at a McDonald's for 2 or 3 years. It's just we have to clean it, and we don't feel like doing it right now.
Yeah, no, but it was also like 10 in the morning. Like, because I was judging him because this dude wanted like ice cream at 10 in the morning. But then like he gave me the look of solidarity because I was behind him judging him. I was like, did this motherfucker just order an ice cream at 10 o'clock in the morning? What the fuck? And then like when the lady was like, it don't work, he turned around and I was like, bro, actually I'm with you. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. What the fuck?
Yo. We don't feel like it's like we have to turn that thing on, or we have to put milk in the thing, and we don't feel like it. we'll get it later. Like it's busy. There's a line in the drive-through. There's like nobody has the time. That being said, dropping insider knowledge for y'all. That's it for what's new. Now we transition over to our headline segment. So join us on the flip side. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the headline segment here on Hallyujuku. We talk about some topical topics, things going on in the world of East Asian pop culture. What's going on? What's happening? What's the haps? Things that are, interesting headlines and things like that. Let's get started. So we finally have Because we talked about Jeon Somi's kind of transition away from JYP into YG's sublabel, the Black Label. We finally have some information. A little bit. It was announced a little while back, but of course we haven't. We don't. We kind of are a little sporadic with our recordings. So, but yeah, like a week back or so. Yeah, Jeon Somi may be making her solo debut next year. On November 21st, media outlet News One exclusively reported that Jeon Somi is currently working on her new music with the goal of making a solo debut in March of 2019. It confirmed this will be Jeon Somi's first activities after leaving JYP Entertainment in August and joining the Black Label, a subsidiary label of YG Entertainment, headed by YG producer Teddy, in September. Jeon Somi, she ran on 16, produced 101, blah blah blah. You know the face. You know who it is. This is kind of like confirms a couple things and kind of brings up a couple of other questions. It does confirm the idea that she was looking to debut solo now, obviously. Because you doubt that Teddy was going to form a K-pop girl group under his label, under his like subsidiary label. And like there's a lot of discussion. There's been a lot of, like discussion on Reddit, like how this matches up with JYP's timeline for the next girl group. Whether is that wasn't fast enough, or whether being another girl group and the delaying of her solo career after that was what she was not attracted to. I don't know. There's a lot to speculate about, and I have a couple of thoughts. But what did you think, Kaz? What are your thoughts? What does this seem like to you?
It seems maybe like a mixture of things, right? Like we've talked about these people who are in groups that are good enough, but they keep getting put on the back burner kind of thing. And it's not necessarily them. It's like there's this situation or this girl group who's been here has to debut. Like you end up with these weird situations. So I think for her, it could have been somewhere along that path of like, it wasn't happening fast enough, or she just wasn't really feeling the constant pushback. There's just so many things you can think of, but like it's all speculation, so it's really hard to really pinpoint any one thing, but you can definitely make a lot of like, ooh, this seems like, and this seems like, but not everything fits together perfectly, so it's hard. It's hard to really say.
Yeah, I think yeah.
I definitely think the biggest takeaway, though, is it does probably have to do with the weight and turn, of a girl group, because it's like you have to sit through this weight. You have to sit through, okay, especially at these bigger labels, like, because they're going for a very specific thing when they want to turn these girl groups around, right? Like, so definitely the two things that do fit the most is leaving JYP is very, you don't want to be in a girl group, right? That right there is very specific.
Yeah.
Joining Teddy's label and not YG specific is also, you don't want to be in a girl group, right? Because if you joined YG specific, there's no way YG as the label is just going to debut you solo, right? And then even if you are there, like it's also, they're not gonna debut you when they're still probably in the process of putting shit together for whatever their next group is, still in the process of trying to burn fucking Blackpink's career. You know what I mean? Like, they got to ruin Blackpink's career first before they debut another girl group, if we stick to the YG timeline.
Yeah.
and they're not done with that. So obviously, in joining one of their secondary labels, in like, well, which is only Teddy's label because Epic High isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it points to she didn't want to do the wait and see process.
She didn't. Yeah, she didn't want to go through the process of waiting to be in another girl group. To follow through that timeline. I think ultimately, I think the biggest thing is she is betting on herself. Like, I think that's the biggest thing. Like, she is betting on herself as a solo performer, solo artist. She is betting on herself, and I think this falls in line with like the ambition. Like, believing, you know what, this is where I want to be. I'm going to chase that. This falls in line with the fact that, like, in Produce 101, she was the only member of a big three label, because the JYP still hasn't sent anybody since then. YG has never sent anybody. SM hasn't never sent anybody. The only reason she went is because she insisted on it. I'm like, yo, and I can imagine, because she was looking at the timeline of this coming girl group, and you think about that was back in 2016. Like she was looking at the timeline of this girl group and where she was going to debut, and I'm like, these, like, I know I'm young, but, you know, these are kind of my prime time. Like, I kind of want to get in and start going. I want to at least do this thing to kind of like put my name out there. And she insisted, and that gamble paid off, because she ended up on IOI, was one of the biggest groups, and started, you know, the ball rolling. So she's definitely betting on herself, which I can admire. But you had a further thought, right?
I was just gonna say, I think those are the things that connect the best. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's the only thing I can think, right? Like, she is very motivated, and she just was not feeling the wait and see, and it happens, like you just get to this point where you're not feeling the wait and see. And we've seen it happen to other people, but we like, I think some of them have tried to play the game, and I think in a weird way she's trying to subvert the game, you know, like, so
she's
hopefully it works out.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard because, like, I think I said, I'm pretty sure I said this before. In my mind, and in the back of my mind, and in my mind, when I think of Somi, I think of a girl group member. Like she is, like, I think of her as a girl group member. Like, she's not somebody that I think of as having this outstanding, like, thing. Like, she's not Chungha. Like, Chungha has this stage presence and has this, like, talent for dance, and has been able to turn this thing. But at least I don't. Nothing about what, or at least not a lot about what I've seen her when as she's performed in different groups, or and granted, this is in groups where she's kind of had to be part of a girl group. Nothing, not a lot has really made me think of her as like, yo, if she, you know, she kind of like, you know, puts, you know, if she's put in a position to, as a solo artist, she can, like, really blast it out there. But I don't want to be the person that says, no, you shouldn't try. No, you shouldn't gamble. I can't, I in my mind, I want to think that. But at the same time, like, I can't, like, say, I can't look at somebody gambling on themselves and betting on themselves and think no. I'm like, you know what?
Right.
Do it. Like, if you think you got what it takes, and you think that you can succeed, do it. And I'll be right there rooting for you. Like, the fact that you believe in yourself that much, and you want to put it on the line and bet on yourself. At least that's what I would like to, you know, like, I want to think that, you know, that's what I say, you know, do it. Just go ahead and do it. And I look forward to seeing if it works out, you know, under the guise of Teddy, you know, if it works out, hopefully it works out. Like, I don't know, like, I and Teddy and his production, I've had mixed, and you've like I've had mixed thoughts with his production things,
Yeah.
But
yeah, I
want to hope for the best. There's the pieces aren't like not lining up for me yet, but it's still early, and
it's definitely a gamble. But I think it's one of those things where I think you have to be in the long haul of the gamble. You know what I mean? Like you have to
play
be
the long game.
Yeah, you have to be willing to stick with it, right? Like I think, like you said, right? She's not this standout solo artist, but maybe after some trial and error and like playing with the sound and working on the stage presence and doing things that will give her more stage presence, we end up in a situation where, oh, okay, like she's learning, she's growing, she's getting better. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think hopefully all the best to Somi as she puts it out there, gambles on herself. All right. Let's go to the next headline. I have no segue for this, but let's move forward. More stuff from the Happyface v YG proceedings in court. A little bit of fun moments for the post MIXNINE lawsuit. The court case between Happyface Entertainment and YG Entertainment. I'm reading from Asian Junkie. The last article was from Soompi. This is Asian Junkie. The court case between Happyface Entertainment and YG Entertainment over the MIXNINE debacle continued recently, with HFE questioning YG about their YG Treasure Box survival show and whether they'd fuck them over as well. Quote, during the proceedings, a representative of Happyface Entertainment brought up YG Entertainment's newest survival show, YG Treasure Box. The show includes YG trainees vying for a spot in a new boy group that the agency is planning to debut. The representative said, quote, I want to ask about the similarly formatted YG audition program, YG Treasure Box, and whether they have an obligation to debut the group if the show doesn't do well, end quote. In response, a source from the defendant, YG Entertainment, replied, quote, I think there's a different intention behind saying something like this. This isn't an issue, and it's a situation that can be decided based on the contract. It has no relation to this issue. The court decided that it would proceed with the lawsuit and hold to the next date of the argument on January 16th, 2019. There's been people, of course, caping for YG because, company stands and whatnot. Of course, what they're mentioning at the same point. Then, like them saying YG wouldn't do the winners of YG Treasure Box what they did to the winners of MIXNINE because the former are already under his control and his investments. They're screwing them over. Screwing themselves over. Like it's like going through this. The fact that obviously it's an important point. It's like, yo, you wouldn't do this to these people. Why is it okay to, because they're not your responsibility to like screw over the artists of another label? Like, so it's another nice like dig. And there's been some nice reactions. I don't know, what were your reaction to this?
So I shouldn't say I don't. I don't know shit about how Korean courts and laws and things like that work, but there's a whole thing in American law when you're going through like contract disputes and depositions and things like that in law that, when you're doing your evidence gathering and shit like that, like things that you bring up and then officially are on the record are things that you can then dig into. So like it almost be kind of interesting for Happyface to kind of be like, oh, you are producing a program in which you're looking for trainees to then debut. I would assume, unlike a normal looking for trainees and then debuting, you're expecting more of a turnaround for this because you're also producing a program, right? Like that dig also brings in just a shit ton of like shit that you can then be like, well, like during proceeding such and such, we asked the question that said this, but now that is officially on the record, now that we've said that, now that is a part of this court case, we can now dig into this new thing that you're doing and connect dots. You know what I mean? So I don't know if Korean courts works that way. If somebody could, if there's somebody out there who knows and can say, like, if you do bring something up, like can they dig further into it? Because then that would be the thing that could catch them. And I also give a little bit of point to the YG lawyer, him trying to be like, nah, nah, don't talk about that. That ain't for you.
But it's a valid point. It's like this whole thing, and I think we've talked about it multiple times at this point. But yeah, this whole thing is kind of ridiculous, and the fact that it's all again, the Happyface is suing for a perfunctory, almost almost a ceremonial amount, like for the sake of proving that, yo, you can't just bully other companies because you're YG. And of course YG is doing everything it can, bringing out the big gun lawyers to prove, no, we can in fact bully everyone because we're YG. The fact that we don't know how it will turn out is like, we genuinely cannot guess how it will turn out, because it could very well end with YG becoming triumphant. Like, it's like but it's things like this that you have to do, right? You have to do that evidence digging. You have to kind of show that what they were doing was malicious towards you, right? Like, and they're hurtful towards your business. So, and you gotta find evidence where you can. So it's things like that help in going, oh, look at this thing that they are then now doing, which does this, right? Like, they're expecting a certain thing from this, but when we did that very similar thing together, all of a sudden there's no expectation because they're not the benefactor, like, so you just gotta hit your P's and Q's in law like this, right? And the best thing for YG is to consistently deny, and then or show that nothing they did was malicious and everything they did was a business decision, right? If you can say P's and Q's that everything was a business decision and like it wasn't necessarily with malicious intent, then like that's the thing that gets YG to win. If Happyface's lawyers don't dig enough and bring enough evidence and bring enough things into question, then YG just wins by saying nothing. Yeah, and that's so scary because we know exactly what happened, but it's just a matter of like, what can you bring into evidence and what can you do, what can you prove in court? Because we know it's just on face value, we know what happened. MIXNINE flopped. YG changed the terms to unagreeable terms, very obviously unagreeable terms, knowing people would not be down with that, and use that to be able to just like say, not our problem.
Yeah.
Which is, it's like, but it's just a matter of like, okay, now let's prove it in court. Like, yeah, all the best to Happyface Entertainment. Be able to prove a point, having the guts to go out there and try to prove a point. Fighting. All right, moving on to how amazing BTS is. Just getting that
ridiculous.
Yeah. BTS breaks the. There's just a couple of things. BTS breaks the box office bank with "Burn the Stage" the movie. Not content with merely owning the global music charts. This is from Forbes. Read like Forbes article. Not content with merely owning the global music charts, Korea's most successful export, boy band BTS, has now officially conquered the big screen. The band's full-length film "Burn the Stage" the movie debuted to a scorching U.S. three-way weekend haul of $2.4 million and cumulative total in North America of $3.6 million. Kind of like the biggest thing about it's a nice record-breaking setting. Like the big thing is that they break the record, the highest growing event cinema concert production previously set by One Direction. Specifically, so if you're wondering, they didn't have the highest grossing movie of all time, but they had the highest grossing like event cinema. If you're wondering what event cinema is have you ever seen a Fathom event? If you've ever seen a Fathom event, or like if you've gone to Riff Tracks Live, anything like those kind of events where like it's like a live broadcast to all the different movie theaters and like those kind of cinema events, like that's more like that. If it's in that category, so it's an easier record to break, relatively speaking, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it's still another notch in their cap of their of success. Like this is another measure of their success and like how well they do. Just this a recut of their YouTube Red show like that was turned into a movie that was broadcasted live to different like theaters like and it's cool. Like it's just cool to see how well they're succeeding. And then like you pair that with as in the Soompi article, the fact that BTS are the first Korean group to score Recording Industry Association of America, the Recording Industry Association of America. Yes, I said it from memory, and there it is to read. Platinum certification for the single, and the first Korean artist with a gold album. BTS now has a platinum single in the United States as well as their first gold album. The Recording Industry Association of America has now announced that BTS's Mic Drop has gone platinum. According to the RIAA's website, the track has reached 1 million units with a certification date of November 9th. One permanent digital download counts as 1 unit, and 150 on-demand audio or video streams count as a unit. So it's like, that's one massive unit. BTS previously became the first Korean group to receive gold certification when Mic Drop achieved the feat in February, and the whole album, Love Yourself Answer, is now officially gold as they sold 500,000 units. This is a feat. So
this is the thing that I think we talked about with the opening the floodgates, and we always kind of thought it would be a girl group first. But I think this now opens the floodgates, right? I think this in here makes people interested in more Korean entertainment, right? But I think, like we've been talking about kind of in time, is like these things have just been coming across slowly but surely, right? Like Korean dramas have made a big push a time ago, and then Korean music made a smaller push, and then all these things keep going and growing and going and growing, and then now we're here where this one group kind of takes everything by storm. So it's definitely interesting.
With a solid pacing, and a kind of doing it a steady way, not kind of like overreaching, but kind of doing it in a steady way. yeah, and it just BTS is just it's been fascinating to kind of see just the solid foundation of the fandom, and then like just these things, these moments, and reaching out and having that excerpt, and now they're just like you get like you get like the if you think about like the first time we any of us were asked by a random friend of ours that we knew didn't know shit about K-pop, yo, well, what's to do with this BTS group? Like the fuck you know about BTS? Like,
Yeah.
like
And it's funny because now like stores have like more stuff about K-pop. Like, first I don't know why it's in the kids section, but like there's books about BTS in the kids section at the store that I work at. I don't know why it's there, but that's where it is. But still, it's there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like it is fascinating to see kind of how this is like how this is building and it's cool. I think it's cool to see for like these different groups getting attention in different ways. You look forward, and I'm looking forward to if this lays the foundation for more artists going forward, and more groups and more solo artists and things like that. Tiffany Young is living in LA, doing her thing and laying a foundation from the ground up there. Like it's gonna be interesting. Big ups to BTS. It's gonna be interesting for Big Hit too, because they're kind of like the little company that could.
yeah.
And now they're laying the groundwork for their future as well. Big Hit's new boy group reportedly be a 5-member group with an average age of 17 and different concept from BTS. A few days ago, Big Hit Entertainment confirmed plans for a new boy group set to debut next year, but didn't give much the way of details. Recent report aims to fill in the gaps a bit, adding details that they'll be a 5-member group. They'll average 17 years of age, and they will have a different concept from BTS. According to the multiple industry insiders, the group debuting early next year will be composed of 5 members, average age of 17. Boy group will probably have a different concept of BTS. The Big Hit CEO Bang Shin-hyuk has helped BTS rise. If true, then it sounds good. The average age seems ideal. 5 members seems like a right number, and then like the big thing is kind of like making sure that you're going a path different from BTS, so it doesn't feel like you're just trying to make the sequel right away. You're not just trying to make the sequel group. You're actually like, okay, now they're occupying that space. Let's take this idea and let's come at this space with this young group, like this or this other space.
Unless it's an actual band, right? How different can it really be?
Trot. Go with that. Trot. Rock. Yeah. Visual K. I've seen on Reddit. I've seen on Reddit they said that that Bang's PD is a fan of Dongbang Shinki, like TVXQ. We might come out with something like the TVXQ's Visual K era.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't really like that's different from BTS right there.
Yeah, that is.
There's something that what exactly that is, we'll have to see. But the fact that the goal is not to try to, just directly tie into what BTS is doing. It's to try to do something that is distinct, that is as best as you can do, distinctly different. Is a good goal.
I'm more
it's
just
hard
saying
to say what that is. Yeah, it's hard to say what that is exactly. But because it's kind of a vague thing, but it's hard to say what that is exactly because like what is BTS? Like BTS has kind of been a lot of things, over their time.
Yeah.
But I can definitely see what you're talking about.
What are you just gonna go back to the hip hop concept and act like you never did it with BTS? Because don't lie to me. I'll go through the archives, motherfucker. I'll pull that shit out. I'll pull that shit out.
We are bulletproof. We don't have to. Mnet did a retrospective, and there was like the first minutes was like, no. Arirang K-pop randomly started posting old performances from Simply K-pop of BTS, and the first video I noticed was their performance of "We Are Bulletproof" with fucking Rap Monster with his like blonde high top fade, like.
You know what I love? I'm sure they've done it, but it just reminds me of any show that like Big Bang goes on as a group, and then people are just like, "Yo, let us show you your old ass videos," and they're just like, "No, stop,
no,
stop."
I will kick someone. I will kick someone. As soon as they
pull up the haru, they're just like, "All right, we're leaving. Fucking out of here, guy."
Oh my god, the epic, the old, it's your old days. Yeah. Having to remember your old days. Goddamn, we were there too. We were there.
I remember the beginning of Big Bang.
I remember the big. I wasn't there for that. Those, even watching when I joined in. But we were there for the beginning of BTS. We remember.
Oh yeah,
that.
Definitely, yeah.
We remember. Don't think we won't.
We did not like it. I had to grow to like it.
Yeah,
I will always admit that I did not like it. It took a long time.
Yeah, I still don't like the first
they
couple
went
of like
in good direction.
They found their way. They found their way. That early stuff I was not a fan of. I still am not necessarily a fan of it now. It just it exists in the past. But now
I don't actually like a lot of early Big Bang stuff, but like it's not as bad, but it's terrible. It's
the early growing pains. It was a hilarious thing to look at always. That being said, we go from our early days to late days. We are now to the end of the episode of Hallyujuku.
Yeah.
Kaz, what's going on in your world? What's happening?
Not a goddamn thing. Ever since TwitchCon, everything has fallen off a fucking bridge. One day, the return of DKG will happen. And then one day, me and JVZ will be at a computer at the same time to record Sports Odds and Ends. When that day happens, who knows? The Earth might end first, but it'll happen.
Sometime before the heat death of the universe, ideally.
Yeah. There'll be new episodes of both their shows.
Yeah. The only thing new for me is I've got a Switch. So now I'm that guy now.
I need everyone to stop giving Nintendo money. This is how the problem starts.
Yeah, but it's Mario. But other than that, no. That's it for us. He's of course at King Kaz. You can find all of his stuff. Keep posted on all the things. I'm at PD Rave. The show's at Hallyujuku, Hallyujuku.com or kpoppodcast.com is an easy way to share with your friends. It's an easy way to say it out loud. People are gonna remember it.
Well, didn't I tell you? Don't you know?
You can find us all over the Rebelli.net for this and other shows. Rebelli TV on YouTube. You can subscribe to us, like, share, comment, give us feedback, let us know what you think about our thoughts on this, and let us know what your reactions are to the different headlines and segments. Let us know feedback. Do little things. Until next time, hasta los huevos.
Give it to me straight, Doctor.
Annyeong. Fighting.
Why, I think you're crazy.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.